Hey everybody, so today we're going to be reviewing the arcade version of Ninja Gaiden, and since it's a two-player game, there will be two people talking about this game in the review, so
yeah, Ninja Gaiden. Usually when people think of Ninja Gaiden, they think of the NES game, which was pretty fun, but what a lot of people don't know about is that there's actually an arcade game, and it wasn't as good, and it wasn't as popular, but we'll be reviewing it. So the first thing we'd like to say is that the game is kind of short, but for an arcade game, you kind of expect that. I mean, it's not like something you'll be playing anyway for that long, because you probably don't have that much money anyway.
unless you want to buy the cabinet, which is not a very good idea.
Yeah.
It's probably a waste of money, since it's not that great of a game, but it's still pretty good. So let's just talk about it. So the graphics, they're colorful and detailed, and they're 16-bit, which was a pretty great thing for the time. And yeah, they look great.
Yeah, it's like one of those games, like when you see in the arcade, like, oh, that's Ninja Gaiden. It's like automatically you know what it is. And but one bad thing about it is that there could be more moves to like perform. Like you only have like 2 or 3 moves, and it's just like this random combo. It's like punch, kick, and then it gets kind of stale after a while. And one thing that actually is a redeeming value for that is when you jump around, you can actually throw people, and that is actually a lot of fun, because it's just throwing people, because sometimes you get to throw people, like these big sumo wrestlers that are like 3 times your size, and it's just really fun to watch.
And also, it's really fun. You could actually, since it's a 2-player game, they actually have this thing that they added in the game where you could attack each other, so it's fun to throw each other off the sides where it just like goes down, and like, you know, those places where if you go down there, you're dead. Like that sort of thing. But the good thing is, it's just infinite lives. You just come back every time. But it's still fun messing around with your friends with this game.
Yeah, and the controls are pretty tight for a beat-em-up game. Like, you're always feeling control. It's never like slow, or there's no really delay in it.
Yeah, but some problems. This game could be pretty hard sometimes, especially with 1 player. But with 2 player, it's pretty easy. And I was kind of disappointed that the last boss was easy to beat. And one of the other bad parts about this game is that there's really only like 5 rounds, or like 5 stages, 5 levels, whatever you want to call it, and they take place in different places such as like Brooklyn and Sacramento.
Yeah, and there's only 5 of them, 5 levels or rounds, whatever. And again, it's kind of short, but back in the arcades, you don't really, you're not gonna, it's a good chance you're not gonna make it through all 5.
Yeah, and also they kind of have too many enemies. Like I was saying before, this can be a hard game, and they have so many enemies around that you don't even notice where your character is, and you just notice, I'm just pressing the attack button over and over and have no idea what I'm doing. So like basically, sometimes the enemies will be like wearing the same color you'll be wearing or something, and you get confused of who's who. Like, let's say you're moving one direction and one of the enemies is like following you, so you think you're the enemy and you think you're doing really good because it's a hard game, but you're really doing bad.
Yeah, and at these times when there's a lot of enemies, another problem happens where like it sort of gets choppy, like the frame rate a little bit, and it sort of slows down just a little bit, but it's not that noticeable. It doesn't really ruin anything for us.
There's a lot of replay value for this game, like mainly since the game's never going to be the same. Really, a lot of beat 'em up games, it's not like, okay, it's not programmed where like this enemy is going to go into this spot when they get to this area and start punching randomly in that area. It's like they're going to move where you move and stuff. And you're not really like, they're not going to really just like say you can only move this way and just like press the attack button. You're actually able to move like up and down and side to side and stuff like that.
Yeah, and one more bad thing about this game is that the music is kind of dull, and you actually don't hear it that much. It's sort of drowned out by all the punching sounds and the voiceovers when you get like punched and stuff. And actually, another thing, the voiceovers aren't that good. They're sort of like strange. They sound weird, but it's actually kind of cool to listen to them. Like, it's just because they're so old, nostalgic value.
So yeah, thanks for watching our review. I hope you enjoyed it, and like all the other game reviewers say on YouTube, happy gaming. Oh yeah, one more thing. You could also purchase this game on Wii Virtual Console under Arcade. And the Arcade Virtual Console is actually very, very good, and you should definitely pick it up if you're sort of interested in buying this game, but you're not really willing to buy an arcade cabinet. See ya.
Bye.
That was good, right?